Hello there! I hope you're having a great day. If you're watching this video, chances are you're planning to take an IELTS, TOEFL, SAT, or any other academic test. Or maybe you're just looking to increase your vocabulary. In either case, welcome. You are in the right place. Today, we're going to talk about animals. And this is a huge topic with different tests, so make sure you know enough words around this topic. The 7 words in this lesson come from Cambridge IELTS 1. So let's go.
The first word we're talking about today is the word breed. It means a particular type of animal that has been developed by people in a certain way, especially a type of dog, cat, or farm animal. In this picture, you can see different breeds of dog. This is a husky breed. This is a corgi breed. In this picture, you can see a breed of sheep, which is a kind of sheep. Breed can also be a verb, and when we talk about animals, it means to have sex and produce. The past simple and past participle forms are bred and bred. For instance, many animals breed only at certain times of the year. This means that many animals can have children only at certain times of the year. The second meaning of the verb breed is to keep animals or plants in order to produce young ones for a particular purpose. In this meaning, it is used to talk about people. For example, the rabbits are bred for their long coats. This means that people want rabbits for their long coats. And another example, greyhounds were originally bred as hunting dogs. This means that people initially wanted greyhounds as hunting dogs. The next word is species. Species. It means a group of animals or plants in which the members have similar characteristics to each other and can breed with each other. Species is also the plural form, so the singular and the plural form are the same. We can talk about plant species, animal species, bird or fish species. For example, nearly 850 species of birds have been identified within the country's borders. In this picture, you can see a variety of bird species. Now let's talk a little more about species. In this picture, you can see a flamingo bird and 2 hummingbirds. A flamingo and a hummingbird cannot produce young together because they belong to 2 different species. The 2 hummingbirds in the picture, however, can produce young because they are the same species. Now you might be wondering, what's the difference between a species and a breed? One species can include many breeds. For example, a Labrador and a Poodle are 2 breeds, but they belong to the same species of dogs. We know that they belong to the same species because they can breed. In other words, they can produce young. The mix of a Labrador and a Poodle is a Labradoodle. Also, breeds are selectively created. That is, people develop breeds. Species, on the other side, are selected naturally. Bird species in this picture, for example, developed naturally. No human took part in it. The next word is endangered. Endangered. It is an adjective and it means at risk of no longer existing. For example, the sea turtle is an endangered species. This means that the sea turtle might stop existing soon. Another example, animals become endangered as a result of a loss of their habitat. In other words, if animals lose their homes, they might stop existing. This, for example, might happen when people clear forest. As a result, species of animals and plants which lived in that territory might not have a place to live or food to eat, so they can die. If only a few members of one species are left, they become an endangered species. Now, a similar word is endanger somebody or something. That means to put someone or something in a situation in which they could be harmed or damaged. For instance, taking these drugs could seriously endanger your health. That means if you take these drugs, you put your health in danger. The next word is extinct. Extinct. If a type of animal is extinct, it does not now exist. Extinct is an adjective. Dinosaurs went extinct about 65 million years ago. We can talk about an extinct species. The verb form is to become or go extinct. When we say that dinosaurs went extinct, that means dinosaurs do not live on Earth anymore. You probably know about that. Extinction is the noun form. Extinction. The mountain gorilla is in danger of extinction. That means the mountain gorilla can become extinct. Let's look at the next word, and it is conserve. To conserve means to prevent damage or harm to animals or places. Conserve is a verb. We can talk about conserving natural resources. So to conserve natural resources means to protect them, to prevent damaging them. We can talk about conserving wildlife. That means to protect animals and plants from being damaged. For instance, the government issued new laws to conserve wildlife in the area. Conservation is the noun form. Conservation. We often talk about conservation programs. A conservation program is a project implemented by the government or environmental organizations to protect wild places or endangered species. Written with just M at the end is the North American spelling, but double M-E is the British spelling. Let's look at an example from a passage. About 20 species are being seriously considered for zoo conservation programs. That is, 20 species of animals could be included into a zoo conservation program. And another example comes from a piece of news. Conservation efforts in China have paid off. The country announced on Wednesday that after decades of work, the giant panda species is no longer endangered, as more than 1,800 of the animals now live in the wild. So you can see that instead of conservation program, the word conservation efforts is used. And let's look at the word keeper, which is a noun, and it means a person whose job is to take care of animals, especially in a zoo. In this picture, you can see an animal keeper or a zookeeper. And now example from a passage. Of the 2,000 commercial beekeepers in the United States, about half migrate. You can see a beekeeper in this picture. And the last word for today is the word captive. Captive. If an animal is captive, it is kept in a space it cannot escape from. The two lions you can see in this picture are being held captive. Animals can be kept captive for different reasons. Captive animals seldom learn crucial survival skills. We can talk about captive breeding, that is, the breeding of wild animals in zoos, etc. Captive breeding can be considered to be a good thing because if animals produce young, even if it's in a confined space, it is good for the species. The number of members of that species increases. Captivity is the noun form. Captivity. Wild animals do not always breed well in captivity.
And that is it. If you have any questions, you can always write and ask me. Try making your own examples with these words. Let me know how it goes. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.